Every time you cut a pumpkin, there is one part that most people throw straight into the trash, without a second thought. And what is worse, those who do try to use it almost always do it the wrong way, destroying the most powerful compounds without even realizing it. But what science has discovered about this superfood is so incredible that by the end of this video, you'll want to eat a ton of this. However, there is a silent and very common mistake that could be canceling out almost all the benefits. And if you do not know about this, you might be wasting everything. Stay until the end because this detail changes everything. Pumpkin seeds, also known as Pepitas, are one of the most underrated foods on the planet. Researchers from institutions like Harvard Medical School and the University of Vienna have already published studies analyzing the impact of this food on health markers that go much further than you imagine, from male hormones to heart health, sleep, prostate, and blood pressure. And what I am going to show you here is not guesswork. It is applied science, simple to understand and easy to use in your daily life. Throughout this video, you will learn what is inside this seed that makes it so powerful, the benefits proven by studies, and there is one that will truly surprise you, the most common mistakes that destroy 90% of the benefits, and a practical step-by-step guide for you to start today. And at the end, I will tell you what happens to your body in the first few weeks of consistent consumption. Before we continue, if you have not liked this video yet, do it now. It seems like a small thing, but it is what makes YouTube show this content to more people who need this information. And if you know someone with sleep, prostate, or high blood pressure issues, send this video to them right now. You might just change their day. Subscribe as well, because the videos we are going to release in the coming weeks are even more in-depth than this one. Now pay attention to this. A single serving of pumpkin seeds, about 28 grams, the equivalent of a handful, contains nearly 9 grams of protein, more than 40% of the recommended daily dose of magnesium, and significant amounts of zinc, iron, phosphorus, manganese, and copper. It also contains a list of antioxidants called tocopherols and carotenoids, the same compounds that have been studied for decades for their potential protective power against damaged cells. But here is the point that changes everything. What makes pumpkin seeds truly unique is not just the sum of these separate nutrients, it is the combination of them, especially the relationship between zinc and the unsaturated fatty acids present in this seed. This combination works on metabolic pathways that few food sources can access at the same time. In other words, you cannot reproduce this effect by taking separate supplements. Let's talk about the benefits, one by one, and I promise that at least one of them will surprise you. Let's start with prostate health. Studies published in specialized journals investigated the effect of pumpkin seed oil and extract on men with benign prostatic hyperplasia, which is the non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate, a problem that affects more than half of men over 50. The results indicated relevant improvements in urinary symptoms. The mechanism? Compounds called phytosterols, especially beta-sitosterol, seem to influence the action of enzymes related to prostate tissue growth. One 57-year-old man had been waking up 3 to 4 times a night to go to the bathroom for years. He was not expecting a dietary change to make a difference, but it did. This is crucial. We are not talking about a cure, but the impact on quality of life can be real and significant. Second benefit, magnesium and cardiovascular health. Magnesium is one of the most deficient minerals in the Western population. It is estimated that more than 50% of people in the United States do not consume the recommended daily amount. And this matters because magnesium is involved in more than 300 biochemical reactions in the human body, including blood pressure regulation, heart rhythm, and protein synthesis. A serving of pumpkin seeds can provide between 37 and 42% of the recommended daily intake of magnesium. That is not a small amount. Third benefit, and here's something most people do not know. Pumpkin seeds are one of the few natural food sources of tryptophan, an amino acid precursor to serotonin, which in turn is a precursor to melatonin. In other words, eating pumpkin seeds can, over time, naturally support your body's sleep cycle. And when you combine this with magnesium, which also has a demonstrated role in improving sleep quality, you begin to understand why researchers are increasingly interested in this food. If you ignore this and continue without a consistent source of tryptophan and magnesium in your diet, the sleep problem will likely continue. Fourth benefit. This is what surprises people the most. Zinc is an essential component for testosterone production, and pumpkin seeds are one of the food sources with the highest concentration of zinc in the entire plant kingdom. Studies have shown that zinc deficiency is directly associated with lower testosterone levels in men, and replacing zinc in deficient men can restore hormone levels within weeks. We are not making this up. This is basic biochemistry. But here is a secret that very few people talk about. Many people try to fix this by taking isolated zinc supplements. The problem? Excess isolated zinc can compete with copper in your body, causing a dangerous deficiency of another essential mineral. This is where pumpkin seeds beat any pharmacy supplement by a landslide. They already come with what we call biological balance. They contain zinc and copper in proportions that nature designed to work together. It is like a mineral symphony where no instrument plays alone. By consuming the whole seed, you ensure you are nourishing your hormonal system without messing up the fine chemistry of your blood. This is why whole foods will always be superior to isolated nutrients in a capsule. And there is one more benefit that almost no one mentions, but it is fundamental for anyone who wants to age healthily: blood sugar control. If you suffer from hunger spikes or fatigue right after eating, pumpkin seeds can be your best friends. Because they are rich in healthy fats and fiber, especially if you eat them with the shell, they slow down the rate at which sugar enters your blood. This flattens the insulin curve. And why does that matter? Because fewer insulin spikes mean less abdominal fat being stored and much more satiety throughout the day. A handful of pumpkin seeds as an afternoon snack can be the difference between arriving at dinner with a lion's hunger or maintaining total control over your food choices. Now comes the part that most people skip, and that is exactly why 90% of people who eat pumpkin seeds are literally wasting the benefits. First mistake: roasting at high temperatures. Most people toss the seeds in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 20 or 30 minutes. And the result? A tasty snack, but with a large portion of the unsaturated fatty acids oxidized. When oxidized, they not only lose their effectiveness, but can also create inflammatory compounds. The solution? Temperatures below 70 degrees Celsius for shorter periods. Or even better, consume them raw or lightly warmed. And here is a golden tip for anyone studying functional nutrition: activation. Seeds and grains contain what we call anti-nutrients, such as phytic acid. This acid serves to protect the seed in nature, but in your stomach, it kidnaps minerals like iron and zinc, preventing you from absorbing them. To wake up the seed and release these nutrients, the ideal way is to soak them in filtered water for about 8 hours before consuming. This simulates rain in nature and makes the seed release the enzymes that make the minerals much easier to digest. If you feel gas or bloating when eating seeds, this soaking process will change the game for you. Second mistake: throwing away the shell. That is where a good portion of the fiber and antioxidant compounds are. Third mistake: not combining them with healthy fat. Carotenoids and tocopherols are fat soluble. You need to consume them along with a fat source to truly absorb them. One man said he was doing everything right, taking the seeds every day, but he ate them alone with nothing else. In practice, he was absorbing only a fraction of the potential. Fourth mistake: insufficient quantity. Most studies use between 30 and 60 grams of whole seeds per day to observe measurable effects. A little handful here and there is not enough. So what happens to your body when you start consuming pumpkin seeds consistently and correctly? In the first week, you probably will not feel anything spectacular, and that is okay. Your body is starting to refill magnesium and zinc stores that were likely low. Some people report a slight improvement in sleep as early as the first or second week. The tryptophan and magnesium start acting quickly. After 3 to 4 weeks, as magnesium levels normalize, some people report fewer cramps, less fatigue, and better focus. Men with a prior zinc deficiency may start to notice differences in energy and vitality. After 2 to 3 months of consistent consumption, this is the time frame that studies most often cite for more solid effects, especially related to prostate health and lipid profiles. Now for the step-by-step guide. First, choose organic seeds that are raw or minimally processed. Avoid rancid versions or those with a strange smell. Those are oxidized. Second, if you want to roast them, use the oven at a maximum of 150 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. Or even better, soak them for 8 hours, drain, dry, and consume them raw or lightly toasted. Third, between 30 and 60 grams per day. A handful in the morning, another as a snack. Fourth, combine with fat. Olive oil, avocado, cheese, any good fat works. To make your life easier, here are 3 quick ways to do this today. First, pepita pesto. Instead of using expensive pine nuts, blend the pumpkin seeds with basil, olive oil, and a little garlic. It is incredible on pasta or meats. Second, functional flour. You can grind raw seeds in a blender and store them in a dark jar in the fridge. Sprinkle this flour over yogurt or fruit for breakfast, but be careful. Grind only a little at a time so it does not oxidize. Third, salad crunch. Use whole seeds on top of green leaves. They provide the crunch people look for in croutons, but without the gluten and excess carbohydrates. Fifth, and most importantly, consistency. If you ignore this, you will likely continue doing it the wrong way, just like 90% of people do. Create the habit. Buy them every 2 weeks. Keep them visible in the kitchen. A 52-year-old woman added pumpkin seeds to her routine because of chronic sleep problems. After about 6 weeks, she said that for the first time in years, she was sleeping more than 6 hours straight without waking up in the middle of the night. Was it just the seeds? It is impossible to say for sure, but she had no doubt that this addition was part of the transformation. This is the power of small, consistent dietary habits. They are not glamorous, they are not viral, but they work. Many people ask if children can eat them. The answer is yes, as long as they already chew well, as they are great for growth because of the zinc. Another common question, what about those with diverticulitis? In those cases, the ideal is to use the ground seed in the form of flour to avoid small pieces causing irritation. And about the shell? If the seed is that green one you buy at the market, it has already had the hard outer shell removed. If you are taking it straight from the pumpkin, the white shell is rich in fiber, but needs to be very well chewed or processed so it does not bother the digestive tract. To summarize, pumpkin seeds are an exceptionally dense source of magnesium, zinc, tryptophan, healthy fatty acids, and antioxidants. Potential benefits include prostate health support, better sleep quality, male hormonal balance, and cardiovascular health. The most common mistakes cancel out much of the results, and the step-by-step is simple. Raw or lightly warmed seeds, 30 to 60 grams per day, combined with healthy fat consistently. Important reminder, nothing said here is medical advice. Consult a healthcare professional before making significant changes to your diet, especially if you have pre-existing conditions or use medications. If this video opened your eyes, leave a like now. Not because I need the numbers, but because this gesture makes YouTube show this content to people who can really benefit from it. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already a subscriber. Content like this every week. No fluff, no hype, just applied science. And answer me in the comments. Did you consume pumpkin seeds before this video? Were you doing it the right way or making one of the mistakes I showed? See you in the next one.